Solicitors. Always good to talk cricket with Tom Davis, and good luck to him with this year's Aled Davis Memorial 100, which is coming up on the 23rd of July. But we've got some sporting success to talk about now for some Pembrokeshire people. Some breaking news first up, Fraser Watson.
Yeah, that's right. We just had a confirmation that Gracie Griffiths, who won the Welsh under-20 British title in Chelmsford on the weekend, actually broke a 10-year UK record, which belonged to Heather Warner, obviously a coach now. We've got both of them on this show. And she's also competing in the Welsh Senior Champs, breaking a Welsh 10K record, which she was third to Heather in that race lately. And at the moment, Heather, Beth Ann Jones, another great Welsh walker, and Gracie are actually ranked 1, 2, 3 in Britain, ahead of the UK Championships.
That's incredible.
So we could,
wow,
fingers crossed, actually have a Pembrokeshire Harriers 1, 2 at the UK Championships, or maybe certainly 2 on the podium if all goes to plan.
So brilliant.
Great from here, and great
it's
from
a walk in the park, Fraser, isn't it?
As long as you keep one foot on the floor, it is.
That's excellent stuff. That's just as we're on the air this evening, so really good to hear that. And we also need to say well done to Milford Haven's Bleddyn Gibbs, 18 years old, Pembrokeshire powerlifter, 4 gold medals at the Special Olympics. That's a phenomenal achievement, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, look, it's testament to Bleddyn, obviously, for going there and performing so well. It's testament to a lot, actually. It's testament to the work of everyone in disability sport in Pembrokeshire. Andrew Miles, in particular, put in so much great work for so long. Others as well. Simon Roach at Strength Academy Wales, has opened up that aspect of sport to such a diverse groups of people, and he works with people who are elderly, young, able-bodied, disability, everyone, and he's
very inclusive and everything. It's brilliant.
But fantastic. It's a fantastic reception for him coming home as well.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? His hometown in Thornton was his estate. They were all out. Congratulating him, and what an achievement by the young lad. And it put a smile on my face. Definitely that sort of thing. Brilliant. Well done,
it's a great story for people who might not have seen it. It's the Special Olympics took place in Berlin. As Fraser and Gordon have said, he came back on Saturday to an absolutely amazing welcome. And Fraser, you just mentioned there the work that goes on in disability sports in Pembrokeshire. And it's an area I think that the county does pretty well, doesn't it? And this sort of success will only just help to inspire the next generation, people watching now, people seeing Bleddyn getting that welcome. That it's just all good news for their sport.
Absolutely. There's a lot more avenues now. There's a lot more positive publicity and inclusivity around it, to be honest. I think maybe social media, that is one aspect. We talk about the positives and negatives. It's really helped. I think it's promoting these clubs now, and you've got things like the Pembrokeshire Vikings initiative that has started up. There's obviously rugby available now. There's football available. There's even not quite the same thing. There's walking football available. And for elderly people who maybe are unable to run or inhibited in any way. There's much more avenues for it. And you're right, success like this will draw more people to it. I think, it's a barrier that's certainly been broken in the last couple of decades. The fear of getting involved. It's sport for everyone now in this county for sure.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Well done to Bleddyn, flying the Pembrokeshire flag absolutely brilliantly. Let's turn our attention back to football now, because last week on the show, we spoke to the Haverfordwest County chairman, Rob Edwards. He was out in Geneva, wasn't he, in Switzerland, anticipating the draw for Haverfordwest County. At that point, we knew it would be one, I think, of 5 or 6 sides Haverfordwest could have faced. They could have gone to Ireland, I think. Rob said to us he didn't really mind who they played, and well, they've certainly got a draw, haven't they, in the Europa Conference League. They are going on July the 13th to North Macedonia. Now, between the three of us, we will have a go at pronouncing the side they're playing. No doubt we'll get this wrong, and we might have to check this nearer the time. But KF Skendeja will be playing the game in the.
Go with you.
That sounds good to me, Ben.
We'll go with your
version.
Sounds good.
We'll say it's been played in the North Macedonia National Stadium, which it is. But that is.
It even sounds like your first language.
I've been practicing ever since the draw. It's an exciting one, though, isn't it, for Haverfordwest County? It's certainly an adventure.
Oh, 100%. To it's so much mystique actually is around it as well. You've got people there who can guarantee not many, if any, had ever been to North Macedonia in their lives, let alone to play football. It'll be a completely new experience. It will I think require a lot of focus going to a venue like that, because you are going into the unknown, literally and metaphorically, so to speak. And obviously, you're going to be in a huge stadium, which I dare say, again, the majority of squad wouldn't have played in a venue that big before. So, it will take some adjusting. But look, it should be fantastic. Whatever the score, I just hope, that the tie is in the balance in some way, or there's a chance when they come back to Ninian Park.
Well, just to put a spanner in the works, actually TNS went there either last season or the season before.
Yeah.
They lost 5-0 out there and won the home leg 4-0. So they lost that by 1 goal. But hopefully Haverfordwest won't be that many goals adrift by the time they come to the Cardiff City Stadium.
They want to perform now, certainly. That's for sure. But it's been so much excitement and a bit of razzmatazz around the draw. We've all got on board with it, and rightly so. It's an achievement that's been celebrated. But as the time I think that aspect of the party side of it will die down now. They're going to be showcased. They're going to be in Europe. They made a big deal of getting into Europe, rightly so. They want to perform on the stage now.
Yeah, 100%. But Tony Pennock's been there as a professional himself anyway. So, he'll keep everybody level-headed, and he knows what's in store. It's going to be a very difficult game. But more importantly, for Tony Pennock, he's building for the new season to try and get a team that actually finishes in the top 6.
Yeah.
I think that's what the holy grail is for the Bluebirds this season.
Yeah. Well, they went...
Okay.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Fraser, they were in Northern Ireland at the weekend for a friendly, so they're building up to this, but with some serious games, aren't they? They lost 2-0 to the Northern Irish champions, Larne, but I think it's just about getting fitness for the players. And I think you're right in what you say. It's a difficult away game, but if they can come back to Cardiff City on the 20th of July and the game is still on, I think that will be some achievement for Tony and Rob Edwards and all the players. They would take that, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, from a personal point of view, I've seen the explanation. I fully understand what's had to be played at Cardiff. I mean, it's slight disappointment it's not back in Haverfordwest. I just think the uniqueness of the occasion, make the North Macedonians travel an extra 2.5 hours from the airport and the rest of it, that sort of thing. And it would have been a packed house there, and a night to remember. But I do fully understand why it has to be held in Cardiff. And you're right, just any kind of result to keep it alive there. So I do think a lot will go up. I do think this has caught the imagination of a lot of people, and a lot of travel to Cardiff that night.
There's a few going to North Macedonia as well.
There will be a few go to North Macedonia, and good luck to them.
Yeah. It's a long old flight, just under 5 hours, I think, out to North Macedonia. It's not an easy journey at all. So it would be good to hear from any Haverfordwest fans who are going to be making that journey. The stadium holds 30,000, so there's plenty of room for them all. Maybe we should think about heading out, but that will be some trip for them. So seriously, if you are going, that would be great to hear from you, and you tell us the stories about that. Just a bit closer to home right now for you, Fraser. Swansea City have a new manager. Russell Martin has left. Officially now, we knew that was going to happen. In fact, you speculated, you were ahead of that, I think, talking about that just a few weeks ago that this might happen. He's gone, and Michael Duff, who I know well, former Cheltenham town manager, has come in. How are you feeling about
that? I'm glad it's been sorted early in the summer. I think if you go back to the Russell Martin appointment, I think one of the main downfalls of it, the Steve Cooper situation dragged on so long, and he came in less than a week before pre-season. They've got Michael Duff in early now. I think it's a manager that fits the mould at Swansea. Young, up and coming, plays good football, got a lot of great credentials. What he has to work with around him remains to be seen. There's so much, everything once again in the summer where things feel so precarious at Swansea financially, ownership-wise, which players are going out, which players are coming in. But I think the personnel is a good one who we've got in. It just depends what the other situations are behind the scenes. So I'm cautious.
Well, I think you're getting a good manager. He came into Cheltenham Town. He came in and 4 years in that job. He actually inherited a team that was struggling. Didn't win a game for the first 10 matches he was there. And then he took them from League Two into League One, kept Cheltenham up with no budget. I do think you're getting a good manager. And I think actually, if he survives that first season, he could take Swansea back challenging for those playoff spots. Fraser, I think he's that good. And I think
Don't
potentially
get me excited. Don't get me excited.
I think you should be excited. I don't want to lull you in too much, but I do think you're getting one of the best managers outside of the Premier League. So it's a smart appointment, and it will be interesting because Gordon, we've got an interest, haven't we, with Joe Allen and Liam Cullen in that Swansea side.
We've actually actually got an up-and-coming goalkeeper, Evan Watts, who's involved with the under-21 squad. He's only 18 at the moment, and he's a fine prospect. So my dentist tells me, because it's his dad.
Oh dear, Gordon's well switched on. Okay, so that's one to watch, says your dentist. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll...
Opposite Neil Watts, the dentist, was Joe Allen's dad.
Yes, right.
Funny enough.
Of course, yeah. Well, it will be interesting because Cullen in particular, Fraser, really did kick on, didn't he, last season? Got that Wales call up as well. So how he works with Duff, I think, will be quite good for him.
Yes, I imagine, it's one for Liam. Obviously, he had Graham Potter, never really forced his way in regularly, didn't under Steve Cooper, and had started to under Russell Martin. So I just wonder for him if maybe, sorry to see the manager go, he finally established himself. But you're right, he is. Michael Duff will arrive knowing Liam Cullen's a first-team player now, at least.
Yeah, that's good. And we'll follow that situation. Listen, we are out of time, I'm afraid. It flies by on a Monday evening, doesn't it? We will be back again next week, though, from 7 through until 9 o'clock on Pure West. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Gordon, Fraser, thank you very much indeed. Don't forget you can get the whole show as a podcast at purewestradio.com. On the way next, it's Chris Pitchford on Pure West, and we'll see you next week. Good night.